Alright. Boop 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 boop. Testing audio. Boop boop bop. Oops. Let me turn that off. Up my level a little bit. This is different. This is different and new and awesome. This isn't about me starting the game. I already beat the game. This is gonna be just a rant. Not a rant, a tangent on... Okay, I do start here. Good. This is a tangent on how I didn't play this game correctly. I mean, you can see here that I mean, obviously I played the game. I mean, look, I have all this stuff. I got this cow way too late. That's a different thing. I mostly want to talk about, because I haven't been seeing, so when I beat the game, I mean, I completed it, mostly. If you can see in there, there's still, someone taking care of my boat. So I've been seeing online, and you know, I watched like, oh, what's their name? Popular YouTube channel did like a little documentary like a few years ago about this game, and oh, it's also for her. Okay, never mind. What was I saying? People made a documentary about this game, and they were talking about how this game is mostly grief, handle death, how much stuff you don't really talk about. But when I played this game, I felt like I was doing it a little wrong. Because everyone's like, oh dude, I cried so much, you know? You know, everyone's sad, and I cried. For one character, and one character only. Well, that's because it was a kid, and his Everdor dialogue really got me good. But I don't know. I streamed this game, which in hindsight probably wasn't a good idea. This game seems to be more like you should take your time playing this game, rather than like do all the objectives all at once like I did. Let me start over. This game's about grief, but it's also a management game. I have my tree farms, I think I spirited everyone except for 2 people. I did spirit Daria. This is just when I continued the game. Because after Everdoring Daria, I just skedaddled. I was like, you know what, I am done. And you're probably wondering where I'm going. I'm gonna finish Buck's stuff. Because apparently his second thing's in an area I didn't even explore! You can see how I played this game wrong already. I think I was too objective based and all this stuff, and it's like there's no wrong way to play a game, obviously, you know, but it's just like I don't think I got out of it when I initially finished the game. I don't think I got what I was supposed to get from the game, if that makes sense. You know, because it's like, and I think a big part of it is just I didn't really talk to the characters. I mean, I talked to them, but if my VODs are still up, I played this game not that long ago. But mostly when you watch me play that, I'm more focused on, are you eating? Are you hugged? Are you happy? And if they're sad, I'm like, all right, why are you sad? Let me fix it. Let me fix this. Let me do your quest. Let me do your quest. And then once their quests are over, they're like, all right, I have a door. And that was a good pattern for Gwen and Atul. Well, Atul was like, it was Gwen and then it was Summer. Those two were like, okay, cool. You know, I do their quest. I make their house. I do all their stuff. And then I Everdoor them. And it's nice and sweet and it's awesome. Right? But then it was like, but my first little inkling was like Atul. When Atul just like kind of leaves and I'm like, why did he do that? That was a big problem. I didn't know why he did that. And apparently you gather in the game like all the other reasons why people die. And I got that like a little bit with some characters more than others. With Gwen, I think I kind of assumed it was lung cancer because of her smoking cigarettes and she was like the illness. And I'm like, that could be, you know, whatever. And apparently you just find out that Summer had breast cancer and I was like, what? How did y'all figure that out? It's because everyone's nicer than me. I understand people have different playstyles, but I don't see people talking about the management part of the game. I see people talking about the character part of the game. And, you know, with the game dealing with grief and stuff, you know, I was really sitting on this. I sat on this, it's been like 2 weeks since I played this game. And I've been constantly thinking about it. And how just like, after a certain point, on my VODs, you'll see, I'm constantly saying like, I think I played this game wrong. I must be playing this game wrong. Why am I just now seeing this character? Why am I just now like getting these improvements and all this stuff? Because I'm following the quest lines. I'm doing the things. I'm doing the things that are popping up, and it got to the point where I did figure out, like, obviously before it's revealed, that, you know, Stella's a nurse and she took care of these people and they were significant to her life in some way. Why are you all the way up here? This is not your house. Sorry. But like, I don't know. I think I focused too hard on the management part. And I'm sitting here thinking, and I'm sitting here, obviously, me doing this now, I'm not even reading his stuff, you know? I can barely read it anyway, whatever. But it got to the point where I was like, with some characters, I was confused. I was really confused on how they were connected to Stella, mainly Astrid and Giovanni. Mostly Giovanni. That one I don't understand at all. Like, I got it. I didn't... How do I word this? I didn't really connect with most of these characters because they were connected to Stella. And I'm not Stella. You know? I just didn't have that connection, and I felt like I was missing something. And I after, you know, listening to like a couple things about this game, the point is that like you're also connecting with these characters. You're supposed to like, I don't know if you're supposed to, but what most people have done is like connect to a someone in their life to a character. And I just didn't have that with most of these characters. I say most, there were Stanley. Well, Stanley's like, he was a fun like kid. I think Stanley reminded me of me when I was a kid a lot. In certain ways it wasn't. But like, this guy being the art guy and then finding out Stella went to Japan and connected with him, this is why it lost me a little bit towards the later game. And what sucks is like, Oh, how convenient, they're right next to each other. Perfect. Alice and... Shoot. You see my problem? What was her name? I remember Alice because she's the first one with, like, you know, it's like, oh, I get the outfits and I get the... You know, she's real sweet, she's very grandmother-like. You know, she's writing stories. I thought she was very cute and awesome. With... Hold on, I know her name. Is it Beverly? Oh, right. She did. I just didn't, like, do anything. Also, I've upgraded her house posthumously. That was also another thing. Sorry, this is not a scripted thing. This is just a train of thoughts that I just have to get these thoughts out. This is just, you know, journaling's healthy and all. But rather than do that, why not just put my raw thoughts on the internet? Isn't that smart? Isn't that a smart thing? I just don't have anywhere to... I can't rant about this game, alright? I already ranted about it with people who haven't played the game. And so it's like, I've explained the game and then I have to, like, then rant about it. It's not a rant, it's more like, well, I guess it's a rant on me. I have one sheep, if that tells you anything. I was like, well, I don't need more than one sheep. I have this one, and that's all I need. I made this. I didn't even know I could make the. Okay, here's the thing. Here's what happened. Objectives. I am super objective-based. You give me an objective, I'm doing the objective. Right? This. I was in this menu probably the same amount of time I was in this part of the game. I love objectives, I love completing objectives, and it wasn't until I finished the game, so I'm like, well, okay, I didn't really grieve anyone in the game. What did I take from this, right? I definitely took something from this, and obviously I'm making a video about this. What did I take from this? And I think I'm too busy fixing things. I'm too busy trying to fix things and not experiencing things, if that makes sense. I'm not taking my time. I didn't, to be fair, I didn't know this is, I mean, honestly, you go through the game, you obviously know it's not time-based, you know, it's like, you take your time, you do a little this, you do a little that, and you complete your objectives, but I was so, like, it also didn't help that I was streaming it. And honestly, I post, you know, hindsight 2020, I don't recommend people watch me play that game now that I know, like, quote-unquote, how you're supposed to play the game. If you want someone to play this game very wrong, you can watch me play it. But definitely in the initial emotions, I didn't quite... I mean, obviously, you know, in the game, you see me be like, oh, that's her flower, that's so sweet, I like how, you know, the houses are the characters and all this stuff. But a part of me was like, I wish I had more time with these characters, like, I didn't know much about them, they just kind of, like, came and went in my playthrough. And I'm sure, like, most people's playthrough, that did happen. Where it's like, they just came, they went, you did their quest, and then they're gone. But I'm just, like, reading comments, and I'm seeing the majority is not what I did, and that's why I'm making this. There's an island over here. But like, I really just didn't take my time with it. I didn't, and I think that's what the grief is. It was the hindsight of, oh, I wish I had more time with this person. Oh, if I just talked to them more, I would have gotten this information. If I did this, if I did that, if I did this. And I think that's true. That is, and now that I'm understanding it, you know, that's just how I grieve. That's my way of grieving, in a way. Because I spent a week kind of thinking about this, being like, well, what did I take away from this? What did I learn about myself? And what I learned was, I kind of just try to distract myself. I distract myself from the inevitable, if that makes sense. Because I know, because when you start the game, I mean, Karen's right there. The little, like, the river sticks, the door, you see him go. He hands you the mantle, basically, and he's like, alright, this is your job now. You're gonna... everyone's dead here. Like, it's very direct. And so I think subconsciously I was like, okay, these are people in this... I'll call it real world. In the real world of this game. Not in the world of actual real life. These are people who are past. They're dead. Right? And you're guiding them. They're spirits. And you're guiding them. And you're gonna try and make them have like a good life. Whatever. Or a good afterlife. And send them to the afterlife. Whatever. And so I guess subconsciously I must have just been avoiding talking to the characters. Because if I know they're gonna be gone, why should I connect with them? You see where this is going? It's something that I've learned about myself. Because it made me think about, not in anyone passing in my real life, but in terms of like relationships that I've refused to make because I knew it was temporary. I'm not gonna get into like my personal life, but like I flash back to a moment where I purposely said out loud, I'm not connecting with this person because I know they're not gonna like be in my life for long. And it was like a person that I was interacting with on a regular basis for like, and you know, in hindsight, you know, in that point it was like a few years, but I just didn't connect with them. I refused to. I refused to connect with them. Because I knew they were gonna be gone. So why bother, right? And that's a very, you know, I was a teenager at the time, but it is a very, very cynical way of thinking. And I was a very cynical teenager, if you couldn't guess, from that. And, you know, it's been a few years since, you know, I've learned to try and, you know, make meaningful connections in my personal life, but I guess subconsciously that those feelings are still there. You know? Well, once I finish their quest, they're gonna be gone. So why should I, you know, connect with them? And I think you see that be challenged. I mentioned Stanley before, the mushroom kid. You see me, like, fish him out, and you see for a moment that I forget what the game's about, because I'm so excited. I'm like, oh my god, I'm growing a person, this is so cool, oh, this is funny, oh, he's a swell little guy, isn't he? But then I start thinking about the game, and I'm like, oh no, you know? You see me dread the inevitable. But you still see me interact with them on a regular basis because... I don't know. To be honest, I don't know myself. Maybe I can talk it out, I don't know. But it's like... And you know, I get the... You know, I get his quest, you know, I upgrade his house, I get his little... I don't know, the purple... The event stuff. I unlock his little Jacob. You know, Jacob. Everyone's favorite character, Jacob. Which I'm so glad he doesn't pass. He's with me forever. But I guess in a way, it was I forgot, and I remembered, but I remembered too late. And so, and also it didn't help that he was a kid. Kids dying is always rough. Oops, wrong button. Oh, down. Oh, I can't. Okay. Oh, wrong button. Fire muscle. actively playing the game. What is that? Oh, it's holding A. Sorry, it has been a couple weeks since I played this game. Anyway. But because of that, and also because I was streaming, I did get my one cry. It is a kid dying. But it was challenged. It was like, I still connected with somebody despite knowing they were gonna pass. Mostly because I forgot in the moment, and also I was like, they wouldn't kill again. And I'm like, alright, they're all dead anyway, haha. That sucks. Poor Stanley, R.I.P. But I think it was also like, it wasn't just him like, oh, I have to take him to the other door. This is sad. It was mostly his ending. Oh, speaking of Stanley, the cellar. But it was mostly like what he was saying before he went that got me. It was him being like, I'm sorry, Mom, I'm sorry I didn't do this, I'm sorry I didn't do that. And I think I saw a lot of myself in Stanley. Because when you're a kid, you're not... You kind of do what I do. Because you don't understand it. You kind of avoid it. You avoid talking about it. You're just trying to live in the moment and not really think about what's happening or what's going to happen. And so when Stanley was like, I really tried like fighting, I really tried this, it really hit a core with me. And also, you know, kids dying. I keep saying that, but like, damn, that was rough. But that was the only character that really did that. Everyone else, it was more like, I didn't realize until hindsight, I was subconsciously not really talking to. Although, because it's a game, and I know it's a game, I was trying to figure out, like, alright, how are these people connected to me? How are these people? I was really trying to game the game. Especially with Giovanni and Astrid. I was trying to get more out of them. Because I was like, first of all, Giovanni sucks. That was a very much a tone. That very much took me out of the game a little bit, was Evadoring Giovanni. Cause like you hug him. You hug everybody when you Everdore them. Why did I hug him? That dude sucked. I wouldn't have done that. I would have been like, dude, you suck. I regret nothing my ass. You know? And it's also like an alternate, you know, the ending where it's like, you can choose whether to tell Astrid or not if he cheated and whatever, but it's just like... And in the end she's all like, why'd you tell me? I'm like, oh yeah, because y'all are... That was when I had like another moment where it was like, she was like, why'd you tell me? It would've been better if I just didn't know. And I'm like, but you knew anyway. But then it reminded me, I was like, oh, right. These people were already dead. You were already dead. Oh my, sorry. You see what I do here? Already distracting myself. But like... I think I really just treat this game too much like a... I mean, it is a game. I have to treat it like a game. But I don't think I gave it the thought and I didn't give it a space to breathe. I really was like... I knew it sucked when it was like... When I needed to upgrade my shit. I got to, it was... I think... in the first third of the game. Going into the second third of the game. That I was like... I needed to upgrade the boat to progress. I needed the, I think it was the rock one? The one that go through rocks? The rock barriers? But... Alice hadn't passed. I was waiting for her to pass. I was sitting here doing what you see me doing now, and just kind of like going around, checking on everybody, feeding them XYZ, and just gonna be like, all right, Alice, okay, time to go. And in my playthrough, you see that a couple times, where I'm just kind of like, all right, let's progress, let's go, let's go, let's go. And that doesn't really, that's not what this game is. And resumes to people who did play the game and watch me do that, I'm sure that was a nightmare to watch. But also, you know, I'm playing this game blind. I don't really... I do play games like these, but it's more like I'm used to the fast-paced nature. And especially with how the management of the game is... Here's an example. Alright. When you first play the game, you get Gwen, you get Summer, you get a tool. That's the three main ones you get like in the first like hour or two of the game, right? And their missions are like, you build their house, you give them food, and you improve it. Those are like the main objectives, right? And so it's like you get it was a simple pattern: build their house, upgrade it, do their stuff, you know, spend time with them, have their little moments, and then they're gone, right? It was very simple. Well, Atul's was more like he just disappears, and I'm like, what? Why did you do that? Which goes to show how much I was really talking to these characters and really listening to them. But what was different was this. Astrid's bungalow. Yeah, not Giovanni's. Giovanni can suck it, whatever. Oh, I didn't know I could do that down there. But this is the... After these three, there's certain houses where that's not a quest and improving them. Astrid's house is one of them. Her house is not... improving her house isn't a quest. She explicitly says not to improve her house, which I think is funny, but you still can. But that's not a quest line. But everyone else, improving their house is a quest line. It's part of their game, and I'm like, great. But so it was jarring. When it was like, she's like, okay, I'm ready to go. I'm like, but where's your quest? But your quest. And obviously, I didn't upgrade. Well, I was going to. I wasn't going to improve it. Quote unquote. I was going to improve her house. And as you can see, I never did. Because what is this? Trash. Which made me firmer into my decisions on not having Giovanni in her fucking house. Because it's obviously like this is not... like... It shows more of like what their partnership was. And how she was way better off without Giovanni. And that's like the sad part. It's like, you know, he's sleeping on the couch outside, she's keeping the house nice and neat, and if he were to live inside, well, it would look like this. So I never improved her house. And that's when I got like an inkling of like what this game is really about. It's the small details that I never really paid that much attention to. Oh, dang it. I have a fun fact about this room. This is off topic. But apparently, initially the artists who designed the statues that you see on they're holding the speakers, they initially had nipples, and the artist was told to specifically only take oh, the men's nipples are fine, just get rid of the women's. And she was like, what? I'll just get rid of both of them. If one can't have nipples, no one can. Anyway, I thought that was really funny. But it was just to show you, like, anyway, back on topic. The improvements are to show you, like, their house. And I think I got more confused on, like, I was more really confused, like, why Bev's house wasn't, you know, a quest line to improve. And I guess in hindsight, it's probably because she forgot to give me the quest. But then I got the quest. Well, you need the wardrobe. That's important to get. Because her house is a quest line. I don't know. As you can see, I'm still waiting for this letter. If you're wondering why Buck is still on my boat and I said I finished the game, here's what happened. Because I don't really recommend people watching. Now that I've finished the game, don't watch my VODs of this. In hindsight, it's probably really painful of me being very, like, not attuned with the characters. I mean, I'm talking with them and I'm doing, like, voices for them, but you don't really see me connecting with them. It's very much like, I know I'm in a video game and I'm gonna treat like this is a video game rather than treat this like an experience. And taking my time and stuff like that. But anyway, he's still on my island because this quest takes forever. Because I was like, when I was playing the game, he has his little dungeon D&D companions, and you know, you quest all over the map and you find them and you do their stuff, whatever. And then it's done. And I'm like, cool. And now he's about to go. And then he didn't leave. And I'm like, okay, he's still here, and I'm ever-dooring everyone else. I'm doing their quest. I'm mostly focusing on upgrade of doing the what's her name? Ellen's? That's not her name. What's her name? Elena's? Where's her house? I wasn't doing her quest. I was like, ooh, yay, something I can focus on and do. And I didn't understand what her thing was. I was like, oh, she's just a... First of all, I just found her. Just mindlessly exploring, be like, oh, I haven't been to this island. Who's over here? Oh, an important character. Great. Oh boy. I'm so good at this game, guys. Can't you tell? It's just... I don't know, I think I'm just more disappointed in myself. I'm not... I mean, honestly, the game could have... You know, every game has its criticisms, you know, every art has, like, a thing about it. Where it's like... Oh, let me... No, this could have been better, this could have been a bit smoother, maybe this one could have been... We could have... Give this one some padding time, you know... Because I think my biggest criticism, which is also the point of the game, is that people were on my boat for, I think they were on here for too short of a time. Except for Buck. Buck has been here for ages. Get off my boat! No, if you for some reason do watch my pod, my canon ending is I give the keys to my ship to Buck, he becomes pirate, and he adventures with his little companions and sails the seas of this place. Defeating the whole purpose of this game. But his quest just took too long, and you saw me get that treasure that in an area I didn't even explore. So, oh right, I'm supposed to look at it to progress. But you know what I mean? I wish I had more time. Which is the point. And I realized that a lot too late. And now I'm in an empty boat, stuck with a parrot who is going to take me on so many to so many areas of this map, and then I'm just gonna be like, damn, you're a teenager and you're gone. That sucks. As you can see, I'm still not really interacting with them because I'm just kind of doing stuff. I realize you're supposed to talk to them every time there's a thought bubble, but this time there isn't. You know, hates fries, right? Yeah. I would forget to hug them. I wouldn't, you know, get them into ecstatic levels, which I didn't realize was an achievement until I looked at. Again, it's the goals, it's the objectives, it's the management. The management took over the story for me, and that really sucks because when it got to the Hades stuff, I was wanting more. I was wanting more of the story. I was wanting more. Like Stella. This is Stella's story. And I can't tell you jack shit about Stella. All I know is that she was a nurse. And she helped guide people along, and she's really nice. And she had an illness and possibly a marriage? Didn't know that until I did Elena's thing, and she's like, "Here, give up your brother's coins or this wedding ring." And I'm like, well, I guess I'll get rid of the wedding ring. Like, what? I was married? Who does that character represent? They're not in my— I guess they're either still alive. I guess they're still alive. But that's never touched on. Stella's stuff is never touched on. And it's only in the Hades stuff. And you only see him 3 times. And I would have liked... I feel like if I connected more with Stella, I would have connected more with... I think I would have connected more with the characters. Because I have cried in games where you know, it's not you playing it, you're playing a character. I think I teared up in Amori. Is that when it's like, oh, that's, I'm not spoiling that one, because that's not the game we're talking about, but you know, that one really, like, I connected with Amori a lot. Stella, I don't get anything. Also, I love the cat. I love Daffodil. I don't know why she's here. Oh, something new. Really? I can get treasure map. That's cool. Oh, 2 diamonds. Yeah, no. Do that. I don't know. Oh, I guess I get diamonds this way. And then there was like... I mean, I forgot that one threw me off balance. There was like, what was it? I lost my train of thought. Choo-choo. 'Cause I'm looking for this... Okay, it's on the side now. This one. Oh, I didn't get it. Yeah. I have to wait for it. Great. See, I have to wait for it. Great. That was such a raw emotion that just came out of me. Great. I have to wait for it. God, I have to continue to interact with this guy that I know is going to die. For so long. Look, I can talk to him. And he keeps wanting to tell me something. He's like, never mind, here's some snacks. Right? I'm blocking these emotions. Oh, but what I was saying is, okay, I think I found my place. What I was trying to say is that, like, I know I'm not Stella, and it would have been great to get more of those Hades moments. Especially since, like, the last time you see Hades, you're only, like, halfway in the game. And it's like, I feel like, I mean, obviously, Hades takes, you know, Lily takes the place of Hades. She's not out here, but, like, she takes the place of him when you go around to the, I almost said the orbs. They are orbs. The shrines. When you go to the shrines and you see the pictures that you saw in the Hades area, and you're like, oh, yeah, that's me. and that's my life. But like, I didn't get much of my life. I got more of the other people's lives. Which I guess is more in tune with how Stella probably was in her real life. But I feel like if I'm playing... I think Amora did this a little bit better. I'm comparing it to because both games deal with death and grief. One's more, not sinister, but more, it's a JRPG. It's not as cozy as I would think this game is. But like, I can just do... But like, and also because, and also that game's like, oh, no, not the same amount of time. No, I think I did like almost 8 hours in that game. I'll have to check my hours. I'm all over the place. But I think Amor did a great job because of learning who Sunny is through the game. I think they did a way better job at making you connect with Sunny. And I think it helped that like I relate to Sunny or Amori. I'm trying not to spoil the game. Oh, it's in the whatever. Sunny, Amori, same side, different coin. Same side of the coin. Different side, same coin is what I meant to say. I had a lot easier of time connecting with them within the same amount of time, like at the beginning. That first like, I want to say like 2 hours. I was like, oh, I relate heavy. This is someone I relate to. This is someone, and it's like you slowly learn about like his story, what, you know, trying to piece together what happened, his mental state, whatever. This game, she's a blank slate, which I think can be, like, I'm assuming is also probably a decision that, you know, the devs are like, well, we want this to be shorter of a game. Let's make Stella more kind of just like, she's a nurse. See, I don't know her character. All I know is that what everyone else tells me Stella is. Stella's not telling me who Stella is, right? Amori does a good job at showing you like, hey, this main character is telling you who he is in the game without the characters telling me who he is. Like, the characters do tell me who he is, but not in the same way of like, not the way this game is doing it. This game is more like the characters that you're seeing off are like, you're so nice. Wow, you should really take time for yourself. Wow, you really put yourself in front of others. It's just like blanket, like the Zodiacs. Me realizing that there's constellations in this game. But it's kind of like that, where it's like, it's such vague, broad things that don't really give me a character for her. It's just a blanket like, oh, you're a nice person who puts themselves in front of others. But then it's like, I feel it was a missed opportunity because it's like, I got one thing about Stella's life that I was like, what? This is who I am. And it was when when I completed one of Elena's quest, the teacher dog. I don't think I'm saying her name right, whatever. But you know, like, are raspberries here? Did I not get those? Oh, I did. Okay, I was gonna blindly talking. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, at one of her quests, you get the wedding ring. And it's like, what? How did this never come up? What? I feel and it's said in a way that like Stella never got over it. Like, she clung on to it in a way. The same with the coins, and I'm like, I know this is supposed to be like Stella's mind palace, you know, because it's all the locations she's been to, or all the significant locations she's been to in her life, and you know, and it's like her treasures, right? It's like her treasure box, whatever. It's the coins. It's whatever. It's a necklace. It's a chandelier. It's a vase. But I thought turn on safe mode. I think this is just a thing. But I never got that. I think it wasn't until like I was ready to finish the game pretty much that I was like, wait, she was married? Why was this never brought? Why wasn't I feel like when you're on your dying bed, you're on your deathbed, which is what this game is. You're not dead yet, but you're going to go. You're about to get there. And it's like, I feel like that should have been touched on a lot more so that I could learn more about like what her character was, if that makes sense. And this goes in hand with like why I didn't connect with the characters, because they connected with Stella. They didn't connect with me. One character did, or a couple characters did, but like mainly one, right? And I guess it's like all like, you know, what you need. But because of that, I just kind of, every time I sent someone to the Everdor, I was like, okay, cool. Alright, that's cool. Yeah. Oh, that sucks. No, this is bittersweet, but glad, you know, glad you're moving on. Right? I feel like that should not have been my response to a game like this. And it goes hand in hand with like me not knowing Stella as a character. If I knew how they, and also it's like how they connect with Stella is like, well, she was their nurse. She was probably like the last person that everyone saw before they died, which is cool. But I feel like the Beverly, she was our neighbor. I feel like that was a missed opportunity to bring up like a marriage, a set, because it's like they would talk, but Beverly couldn't tell me what they talked about. It was just so one-noted. And then like, especially, and then like the Mickey and the brother, right? Or no, Mickey was the brother. Whatever. The rowdy rough boys, you know? I spent the whole game being confused, like, why do I connect with them? Like, what's significant in, like, why am I letting them move on? Like, why is that important? Gwen made sense, she was my best friend. O'Toole makes sense, he was my uncle. Alice more or less made more sense, because you know, dementia and helping, you know, you literally change her outfit in her quest. But with like characters like Giovanni and Astrid, and especially these guys, I was like, why? Like, the game had to tell me that like I saw Astrid and Giovanni as grandparents. I'm like, what? In what world? Like, I think like it was towards the end of Astrid where I had the quest in my thing of being like, hey, she's ready for the Everdor, where she would like, or right before I got the Everdor quest for her, she was like telling me more stories about like, and when she like in war, like her wartime stories of her like trying to like rebel and liberate as many people as she could in the war times. I'm like, where was this in the beginning? Because in the very beginning you see her protesting. I'm like, okay, she was an activist, a revolutionary, and stuff like that, and you see that her husband's a loser. And that's that's kind of mostly what I got. And then she's older, she likes simple things, and then it's like, oh, by the way, forgot to mention. All right, cool. Glad I mentioned that. Can I die now? I'm like, what? Whoa, whoa! I feel like we just scratched the surface. What's going on here? Which, in a way, I can see as like being the point of the game, but also like, it took it away from me. It took away the like. The emotional, it was jarring. Being like, what, huh? What do you mean about this about yourself? I didn't know about. Also, Giovanni's thing was just like, well, Astrid's mad at me. Guess I'll go. And I'm like, what? So I'm assuming his plan was to like leave with her. And then you do the Lily thing, and I guess it felt like a little bad, where it was like, oh, together until the very end, despite them being divorced and whatever. She was with him by his side forever, and I'm like, why? Just because you miss him? Why do you miss him? He sucks. And she's all like, because he's simple, and I'm like, that makes no sense. Whatever. I guess in hindsight, it's like, because he, you know, she lived in times of uncertainty and things could change in a second, but Giovanni would never change, and she found comfort in that, you know. But like, I wish this game gave me more. I wanted more. I have like 30 hours, 50 hours in this game? It tells me, right? Somewhere it does. Somewhere it'll tell me. Well, I have a lot of hours in this game. And when I finished it, I was underwhelmed. But I also learned a lot by myself again, where I was just like, oh, this is how I grieve. This is how I deal with things. But also would have been nice of the game to just give me a little bit more. It would have helped me connect more with the characters. I especially felt bad, you know, reading comments. I read a comment under the documentary I watched because it's on YouTube. The Escapist! Sorry, I finally remembered who made that documentary. The Escapist, one about this game, the making of the game. And there were so many comments being like, I never finished the game because it was too sad letting everyone go. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean it was too sad? I didn't feel sad at all! And that's my problem. That's the problem with me. That's the problem with... And I guess it didn't help that like this game was hyped up to be like I had someone in my chat. They showed up when I was in the start of me playing this game. They'd been like, oh, let me know when like you get past like the halfway. It's like when you spirit like 4 spirits and then you see Hades for the first time, right? And I was like, okay, this is showing like what the not the first time, but like the whatever. You upgrade the bow and you start doing more stuff, right? But I still didn't. Everyone was pretty mad. I just didn't connect with anybody. And I think that's... I think it's more of a me problem. It's definitely a me problem because everyone else... I mean, because everyone sees people differently. Because a lot of people saw their grandparents, they saw their loved ones, they saw like... But as someone who hasn't had that much grief in my life, grief in like people dying in my life, because the only person I can think of really is my grandparents. My grandmother passing. She passed when I had a grandfather on my mom's side die around the same time as my grandmother on my dad's side die. Both of whom were very important in my life. One, because I was a child. I was literally like 8 years old and learning what death was and, you know, complicated family stuff. But like, oh my god, finally. There I go again. There I go again, you know? Like, it's like, I'm supposed to be enjoying my time with Buck, and here I am being like, ah, oh, finally. There's something to do around here. It's just like... It's just something baked into me. I don't... And I wish I could give this game the time it deserves. But I really... it's the management is a big one. The management, the quest, which is on purpose, obviously. It's a sign of, you know, a lot of people... This is what a lot of people do. They distract themselves from griefs, they get busy. And they don't think about it. Like, I didn't think about this game until I was, like, at work. And at work I don't do much. So I'm like, I'm thinking about the game and I'm like, oh. And I'm thinking how I did all that live and people who played the game and loved the game were watching me play it. And I'm like, just being all like, do. Oh, yep, there they go. And and I'm sure they're, like, disappointed in me. You know? I mean, it's... And then when I, you know, inevitably, like... I did finish the game. This is just me continuing it again. To do this quest, because I said I would do this again. And I said, well, I already finished the game. This is done for me. This is DLC now, right? I don't know, maybe one day, when I'm a bit older and a bit wiser, I'll come back and be all like, oh, maybe once I get more grief in my life. I'm very privileged in the fact that I've experienced a lot of my grief in my childhood, which is, I guess, a privilege in my adult life. And like, maybe I'll come back, maybe I'll feel something a bit more, maybe I'll talk to the characters more, but then also just like, I don't know, this doesn't seem like the game to do that, to like, I mean, look at me, back, this doesn't seem like the game to do that, me back at the game doing just quests, but like, I don't know, this is really just a rant, because I didn't see much about this perspective about the game. When I was, you know, being like, oh wait, well now the game's over, let me look up like how everyone died. Because I am morbidly curious. And because I didn't talk to the characters enough, I didn't connect with them enough. So I was like, well, what happened? What was I supposed to do? And then when I'm like watching these videos, I'm like, what? How did y'all find this out? In the game? When did this happen? I don't know. I also got caught up with like trying to learn every Kitchener episode. You see me get overwhelmed a lot in this game because I'm like, okay, gotta feed this guy, gotta feed this guy. What do they like again? Oh, I'm short on this. Okay, let me go get this, let me get this, you know. And I guess I was supposed to replicate like Stella's life of being like all over the place. Making sure everyone's okay and neglecting, like, cause you know, Stella never eats in the game, she doesn't, I mean, she kind of sleeps. But then after a certain point, you don't sleep in the game. The boat just kind of keeps moving on its own. I don't know. I really wanted more out of this. Especially with these barn stuff, because there's a moment in my stream where I was like, wait, it's like I said I could make it, but I'm like, oh, let me wait till I get that quest line. Bro, what? What do you mean wait till I get that quest line? What are you talking about? I don't know. I still love this game. I mean, cause obviously I love the game. I was thinking about it after which, like, you know, there's not, you know, if you get me thinking about a game after I played it, I think it's a good game. Regardless if I cried or not or whatever. I still thought about myself. I learned about myself again. You know? I still took away something. I still experienced a grief. And I learned that I just don't experience it the same way that most people do. And that's okay. It just kind of sucks. You know? It sucks that, like, I couldn't give the people what they want. I couldn't. I was very monotone. I was very, like, kind of like, ah, it's a game. They're gone. That's cool. Oh, that's it? Alright, I guess. You wanna go? You wanna go? I listened to people what they wanted. I did what they wanted. And that was that. The exception to Stanley. And then oh, she's in here somewhere. Oh, she's actually in here, actually. I forgot. She's really good at hiding. But like... It was more just like... What's the word I'm looking for? Bittersweet? I don't, because lackluster is too negative a connotation. Alt Harbor was once a nice little promenade. Oh yeah, this is. Oh yeah, I also missed like being able to open the electrical doors in certain areas. But I think it's more just like a. But I didn't. Maybe I just finished the game too quickly. Maybe I was just like too quick to finish the game for the sake of entertainment and streaming, because I was streaming the game, what, twice a week? 10 parts, so, you know. I was playing this game for like basically a month. The meat cafe, the dangerous are to die for. I should be reading these because, you know, it's Buck's thing. But then it's like, he already had a really long thing and now he gets an even longer thing. He is fun though. Looter's literary review should be coming soon. Thank you. I just don't understand. I need strawberries and blueberries. That's my, I guess that's pretty much the gist of it. But it's, I don't, you know, I'm just putting my thoughts out there on the internet, but it's like, it's good to talk about the different ways people grieve, you know? It just feels a little bit like, ah, there's not, I mean, maybe there is someone who had the same experience I did. You know, it's probably autism, it's probably whatever. How I was raised, how I grew up, certain things in my life of why I'm experiencing this game specifically this way. But I really wish I didn't. I really wish I wish it was more story driven and not management driven. And if the people who made this game make another game, I hope it's more story driven, because there was definitely something. I feel like I got like little pieces. I got little bite-sized demos of like the story, and I think it's. I think the gameplay took over the story for me, and so when it got time to be like, all right, story time, grieving, huh? Are you sad? Are you sad now? They're gone. I'm like, no, this was part of my quest. I was supposed. Excuse me. I was supposed to do this. I don't know if it was more of a story like, oh, what's that game? Edith Finch. If it was a story like that, that would have gotten me. Oh, that would have gotten me 100%. I would have, because at that game, I feel every character's death in that game. Because that game does such a good job on, oh wait, that's, no, it's part of the game. It's part of the game. I was supposed to be attacked, so I say a spoiler. No. But like, I felt every character. And you only play as one. It's like this, except first person in 3D and immersive and more like imaginative and story driven. Less, there's gameplay in it, obviously, but like it's not like this, where this is gameplay first and it's like, oh, there's a story if you choose to find it, or if you choose to look at it, which isn't a bad thing. But when it comes to like the ending and, you know, the characters are all like sad and everyone's supposed to be sad, and I'm like, why am I not sad? What's going on here? And it doesn't help that like most people who play this game are like, what? I have multiple friends who didn't even finish the game because they were like, oh, it's too sad letting everyone go. And I'm like, what? What the fuck? What? I don't know. This is more just like a video journal of... I wish there was more. I think this game, I think the developers of this game have another game that came before this one. I think I want to try that. Because I think that one's more what I was looking for. I love the... I played this game. I wanted to play this game non-stop. Not for the story, but for the... Because this game scratches that quest itch for me. Like Minecraft does. And I don't think you want to be... I don't think me comparing this game to Minecraft is what you necessarily want. I don't think that was the goal. That's the plan. That's the goal. Spitting spirits. Those two guys are weird. You know what I mean? I guess what I'm feeling is not disappointment in the game, but disappointment in myself. Mostly. Of everything's hindsight. It's like, oh, I could talk to this person, I could talk to this person, but it's like, I know myself. I gotta get the quest! I gotta get that dopamine, I gotta get the, where's the Subway channel, where's the Subway Surfers? I gotta get it now. Complete the quest, give me my dopamine. I completed the quest, yay, I got items. Away! I did a good deed. And that really, it took the game out of it for me. I still felt things. Obviously, it's a game. I still feel things. I don't know. This is just a long-winded brain thought. And as you can tell, I've been sitting on this game for a while, like thinking about it, like, okay, what did I do wrong? Because the ending was lackluster for me. I was just like, okay, and I'm gone now. Great. I did it. I finished the game. And I was like, it was sweet. And it is sweet. But you know, there's certain characters on this in the sky that I'm like, well, Giovanni I didn't give a fuck about, but Stella gave a fuck about him. And I feel like I should have gotten more of that. I should have gotten more of the reasons why Stella specifically cared about these characters. And I think I would have been able to sympathize and empathize a lot more and gotten more of what this game was about. You know what I mean? I'm sure someone also feels the same way. I've talked to my friends who have played this game. And, they somewhat agree, they somewhat disagree for obvious reasons, you know. They're more loving and caring than I am. I guess... I don't know. I wasn't looking for a game to cry through, which is great. I don't like crying for games. And I don't really... It's not an easy thing for me to cry in a game. Again, the exception is Stanley. They did a. If I got more Stanleys, oh, this would have done it for me. But I didn't. I didn't get any. I got one Stanley, and you know what? That's fine. I guess that's it. You know, I think I guess if anyone has any game suggestions on, like, what, or if, you know, if you agree with me, if you disagree, if you have, like, any other thoughts, stuff that I may have missed, I don't know, feel free to say so. I like discussing this game because everyone has such different perspectives and experiences with this game because it is open world. I do like that. It makes my quest. It scratches that Minecraft itch. I'm like, yes, I'm completing quest. Yes. Which is not. I don't think it was supposed to be the point of the game. That's just a me thing. Oops. But I do genuinely love this game though. But feel free to disagree with me, agree with me, discuss the game, what your perspectives were. If there's a perspective I never considered with certain characters. Really buck right now. Look, this is taking forever. Which is the point. Which is the point. It's supposed to take forever. It's an adventure. I'm supposed to wait and be patient. I'm supposed to learn this about myself, and yet I'm choosing actively not to. Oh my god, there's 6 more. Obviously I've been cheating. Y'all been seeing it. It's like, how does she already know where this is? Yeah, I've been cheating. Which sucks that I have to. That's not the point of this. This is not the point of this game. That's not, especially this quest. It's not the point of it. And yet here I am, bending the rules. The rules. We're lost. I don't wanna leave this game with a bittersweet, because I told people, I was like, oh, I'll finish the quest at least, or most of them, and try to Evador everyone else. Also, speaking of Evadoring everyone, the possum guy, I think he's supposed to be a possum. Possum rat? What? Where did he go? I guess he's somewhere in the map. I guess I have to find him and be like, hey, get Everdored, I guess. I'm supposed to talk to him and be like, hey, you abuse these people a lot. What's going on here? What happened to the hospital? And he's gonna be like, dude, I love Cheer Dog. And I'm like, okay. He's like, that's what management is. I'm a lazy piece of bum. And I'm like, okay. Why are you important in my life? It all just circles back to me being like, if I... It all starts with me being like, I'm sorry, I'm thinking my thoughts. If I was a better person, me personally, and if I took my time, a lot of this is my fault of why I, you know, played the game I played it, because obviously, I played the game. It's my experience, it's my game. Obviously, I'm playing it incorrectly. But also, I think the game could have done a better job at making me care about these characters. Which sucks, to say that. I just think that it would have been nice to have more Stella, less me. Because me in this game doesn't work. And I think that's what I'm trying to say. I don't fit in this game. Me as a person, as a creator of videos and trying to entertain myself and entertain others, I am not Stella. I'm not supposed to be Stella. And yet, I don't know who Stella is. And therefore the only thing I can presume is that I am Stella. Which I am not. Because everything that's said about her is vague. Or it's very broad. And it's just not, I'm not getting Stella, I'm getting just a mindless character that was a nurse, she cared for people. Yeah. And that's about it. That's basically what I got out of Stella. She cares a lot about people, she does things for them. She's an ideal video game protagonist for a video game that would probably benefit with her not being a main character. I don't know. As you can see, I have lots of thoughts about this. This is just an hour rant on me being like, I suck. The game is cool. I don't know what I'm doing. Second, I mean, I don't know. Do people have the same opinion, or at least somewhat of the same opinion? I think I'm just not cynical, but like, more Stella would be cool. Less management would have been great. Well, no, I actually really like the management, but in the way where it's like, if the ending of the game wasn't trying to make me feel something, if that makes sense. Because the whole point of this is like, I go when I'm ready, right? I go when I'm like, I finished everything, I'm good, I'm content, I'm gone. Or Stella's gone. You see what I'm saying? You see the what I'm subconsciously doing. It's like, I don't see Stella as a character, I see her as myself. As in, me playing her, a blanket slate. And well, in my playthrough, Stella didn't give a fuck about Giovanni. But the games tell me Stella did give a fuck about Giovanni. In fact, he was very important in her life, and I'm like, how? In what way? And I still couldn't tell you that. It's just, oh, that Blackberry outfit would be great. How do you get these figures? You see what I'm doing right now? I don't care about this. I'm not caring about the story. I mean, I care about it, but I'm not caring about it. I care in a way where it's like, it is a quest. It is a mission, it is a thing to get, it is a dopamine. It's a drug. And no, I don't do drugs. If that's gonna be something that someone's gonna be like, do you do drugs? It sounds like you just want the dopamine hit. Which isn't true. I don't do drugs like that. In fact, I rarely ever do. Oh yay, Sunday's outfit. That's awesome. Especially this character. This character makes me really like, I have to collect everything. My dopamine! Which I know from the themes and tones of the story is not the point. It's supposed to be, we're supposed to be talking about grief and touching on grief and talking about things that like people don't talk about. But when I was actively playing this game, I didn't talk about those things. It didn't lead me to talk about those things. It was a means to an end, which is really sad to say. But I wanted my quest. And like with some characters deaths, I was like, okay, well what actually happened? Like what was going on? That's, you know, it's a very real thing that someone went through. Dementia is sad. Suicide, you know, old age, cancer, sickness, like it's all stuff we have to talk about and discuss in a very meaningful way. And I think at points this game does do a good job at doing that. But in a lot of ways, for me personally, obviously I know not everyone, because everyone says they cried in this game. I'm the outlier. I I think the management part took over. And I knew they were gonna be gone. I knew that was the goal. That's the plan. That's the goal now. And you're seeing me just kind of like doing this quest, waiting for the next treasure map or the next adventures quest. And there's 3 more of these, and this is gonna take forever. So, unfortunately, oops, I did not mean to do— oh no, I clicked on an ad! No! I don't want your Toyota! Sorry. Because even now it's like, I go back to the game not to make sure that Buck is like safely crossed, or I check on the other spirit that I don't care about. What was his name? Rodney? No. Jackie. Rodney. But that's like... I think it's mostly me and a little bit of the game. And I was expecting... it was expectations. And what I was getting into. Especially being told that I was going to cry. Which I did, just only once. And that was it. The ending did not make me cry. Because of all the endgame quests coming in, I'm like, oh, I'm ready to go. I guess I'm ready to go. Because I'm ready to be finished, and I'm gonna end stream now. Well, this was fun. Don't watch my VODs. Don't watch my VODs if you want. If you're looking for someone to be like, oh man, I can't wait to see how they cry in this part, or how they connect with this character at this part of the game, and don't watch me play it. Don't. If you want someone that just kind of went through the motions, which is how I learned how I grieve, I guess you can do that. You can watch me play. It's a hard watch. In hindsight, it's a very hard watch watching me play this game, and I'm like, oh, that was alright. Cool, they're gone. And it's like, what? They're not supposed to feel that way! Oh boy. I mean, it's true. Which sucks. Well, I think I rambled on enough. I really thought I was gonna finish this treasure map quest after this rant, but boy was I writing this quest. It takes a long time because I have to wait in the mail. Mail time with Smosh. So let me know what you think, if you listen to this at all. This was just a mindless brain rant. There was no script. It's just stream of consciousness. And just my overall thoughts on the game. I hope they're making another one. I would like to see more of the games that they make. I think I'm gonna try Unsundered. That's the game they made before this. And maybe that'll be a cool experience. That'll be a cool experience. I still like this game. I like it a lot. That's why I'm talking about it posthumously. No pun intended. But you know, FOMO. I'm feeling FOMO. I feel like I missed out on a greater experience because my own way of grieving it aligns in this game a little too well in the fact that I missed the game, essentially. Because whenever I think about this game, I'm like, oh man, that sucks. I didn't do that quest. Oh man, I didn't get to that. Man, that was really long. As in this mission with Buck waiting for his stuff. After already doing another long quest for him, my god, this game does not want Buck to die. And you know what? I guess it's gonna stay that way. I guess it's not. I guess once again he's gonna get my boat back. He's gonna sail the high seas with his buddies, and it'll be great. Maybe after Bug's thing, I think Bug would have made me cry too because he's supposed to be a teenager, and obviously kids dying is sad. That gets me every time. Children dying, that will get me to cry. 100%. But right now, Buck is, just kind of, here and sticking around, so I guess I will give him that satisfaction and he'll stay around and adventure. And with that, I'll be that. Let me know what y'all think. If you agree with me, if you disagree, if you have any suggestions on why I should, you know, any game suggestions that maybe are more aligned with how I, you know, like games like that deal with grief, that would probably make me think about grief more, death more, or just emotions in general. That'd be great. I did play Amori. That one got me to tear up a little bit. Because that one was, oh, that one made me feel feelings. I had to think about that game for a while. It's like, it's too sad to go back. This one obviously wasn't too sad to go back to. So yeah. So let me know what you'll think, if you even made it this far at all. Yeah. That's about it. See ya.